Cool. Hey, hi, hello. How are you? It is awesome to be here with you. I am Coach Becca, plugging in from Guilford, New Hampshire, right on Lake Winnipesaukee. It's beautiful here. And I am a mom, I am a wife, and I have been drinking and sharing ketones for almost 4 years now. And so I'm super excited to be here tonight to share some really awesome information with you about inviting to a guest call. But before we get into that, I want to introduce you to my co-host, the beautiful Amber Horn. Hi, Amber.
Hello, Coach Becca. So excited to be here. So excited to talk about guest calls tonight. But just a little bit about me. I live out on the West Coast in Oregon. I'm a mom of six. I've been drinking and sharing ketones now for 2 years. And I'm passionate about guest calls because they have really changed my business and I value them so much. And I'm excited to share some tips and just some valuable tips and ideas that you can use in your business too. So we're looking forward to that. But for now, I will turn the time back over to Coach Becca.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Cool. So like we said, we're going to be talking about guest calls tonight. So the very first thing that I want to share with you is how powerful guest calls are. You heard Amber mention that they are a catalyst in what has been really helpful for her to build her business. And so a few things that I'm going to share with you about guest calls that will change your business if you utilize them. These guest calls are put on for you to use in your business to build your business. So if you implement and utilize the things that we're going to teach you here tonight, you will see a shift and change in your business. So the very first thing is that guest calls allow the experts to work for you. So you don't have to be the expert. You get to invite people to either jump on a Zoom or come over to your house and watch the Zoom with you so that they get to hear from an expert the power of ketones and they get to hear stories. So that's the next thing, is that several exposures, when somebody gets introduced to our product or our community, they might take several times to hear about it before they say yes to trying it. So plugging them in to a guest call will allow them to have another exposure to not only the community and stories, but also to education. They're going to hear things that are going to help educate them on the power of ketones. The other thing is, I just mentioned that they're going to get introduced to the community. They're going to hear stories of how ketones have changed people's lives, real people in real time. And they're going to get a sense of the community because of how many people are on that Zoom and the people that are sharing on that Zoom. They're going to get to feel the energy of the community right from the comfort of their own home. So guest calls are super powerful, super important. And like I said, if you utilize them, they can change your business. So we're going to go over the next thing that we're going to go over is how to develop a game plan to use that, right? And so Amber's going to be our coach and give us a game plan on how to use guest calls.
I get to be Coach Amber tonight. So excited. I'm usually not a coach. Becca's our coach on our team, but I will be for tonight. I always create a game plan because it's important to me. I love schedules. I love plans, and it's important to me to have things laid out before I proceed. So I like to identify who I'm reaching out to, and I usually reach out to several different groups. Now, typically when you think of guest calls, you think of, all right, I'm just going to invite prospects or new people to come listen to what ketones are. But that's not it. You've got to think outside the box. You got to think of, all right, I probably should also invite people that are currently drinking ketones, my new customers. And then I should invite maybe my VIP group or my customer group. I should probably be posting it on Facebook too. Or Instagram or whatever social media that you currently are using. So there's several different groups of people that you should be reaching out to and inviting to the guest call. What about people that may be on your Rhino Run tracker that you've invited to guest calls in the past that haven't been available? Are you thinking about them too? So think about who you want to reach out to, and the language is going to look a little bit different depending on who those people are. So let's first talk about maybe current customers. How do you reach out to them? Let's talk about maybe people that have started drinking ketones just recently. Did you know if they are on SmartShip, their volume, if they purchase again, is still considered new volume and can help you get to MVP. So that is crucial to get them on a guest call, help them understand what they're drinking, get them third-party validation, get them into the community and help them feel the power of what's going on here. So often people start drinking ketones, they don't really know what they're drinking. They're starting to feel a little bit better, but it's expensive and they don't really understand what it is. They're missing that third-party validation, and guest calls are where it's at. If you're missing out on them, you're missing out on a key part of this business. So something that I usually do in my, I have a customer Facebook group. Some of you may or may not have that. You could put it in a messenger chat, just somewhere where it'll reach multiple customers. I do maybe every month or two, I do what's called a watch and win. I'll say something like, it's time for another watch and win. And then it'll say, come, or here's the guest call tonight, come watch and be entered to win. It could be a shaker cup. It could be a 5-day trial pack, but all they have to do is watch the guest call and then message me something they learned, and they'll be entered to win the prize for that week. So I do that often. That's usually pretty productive because everyone wants to win something, especially if a shaker cup is involved. Let me tell you, people will do anything for a shaker cup. Something else I do often is give away a free packet. If there's a new flavor, I will literally give anyone a free packet that gets on a guest call. That's how much I value them. It is huge for my business. I have customers who get on guest call, and then what? They become a promoter. They're powerful, guys. I'm telling you. Okay, so let's say I have a current customer and I want to reach out to them directly. Let's talk about the language to use. Nick Martinez taught me this. What he usually says is, hey, Becca, what are you doing tomorrow morning? There is a guest call tomorrow morning, but this could be applied to any guest call. Hey, Becca, what are you doing tomorrow morning? Becca says, well, I don't know. I don't think I have anything going on. I say, yay, please join me on this guest call so you can learn about the science behind what you're drinking. It's super powerful, and it's important to me that you've invested in this, and it's important for me that you maximize the use of the product or something like that. But let them know that it's important to you, that you care about them enough to get them on the call. Use that kind of language because they've invested in this product, and it's important to you that they understand what they're drinking. So they're not wasting their money. And I think that is really powerful language, but first lead with, what are you doing? And then if they come back and they have something that they're doing, that's okay. I can send you the recording, and then make sure to follow up with the recording. Okay, let's talk about new reach outs. Becca, do you want to cover that?
Absolutely. I loved that watch and win, and shaker cups are crazy. But if you don't even have a shaker cup, reach out to the person who enrolled you and ask if they can share a shaker cup or something like that as well, if that's something you want to do. Amber, that was great. So the next one we're going to go into is new reach outs, which are super exciting to me because these are new people who have not even tried the product yet. People who you may not have even had a conversation with yet, or even asked them if they're drinking ketones yet. So new customers and new conversations lead to new customers, right? He who has the most conversations wins. So if you're having new customer or conversations all the time, you are more likely to win. So there's a couple different ways that you can do new reach outs, right, to new people. And one of them is to go onto Facebook or Instagram and do a green light challenge. So green light challenge means whoever has a little green dot next to their name, that means they're online and they are active. So you can set a timer for 15 minutes if you have 15 minutes, 30 minutes if you have 30 minutes, and go through and do a green light challenge, sending out an invite to all of those people that you see who you've never talked to before that are online and active. That means they have their phone in their hand and they're just waiting for somebody to message them. They're scrolling on Facebook. They're looking for something to do, right? So green light challenge, go through, set a timer for yourself and just message as many people in that 15 minutes, sending outgoing messages, and then set another timer for you to respond to the people that reply back to you, right? The other way is to text 3 to 5 people in your cell phone contacts. I guarantee you, I don't know, I definitely, Amber, do you have people in your contacts you haven't talked to about ketones yet? Yep. So there are people in your phone. You have their phone number. You can text their phone number or call them. Pick up the phone and call them. And I challenge you to do this with 3 to 5 different people and invite them to the guest call. So a green light challenge, scheduling in 15 minutes, setting that timer and going to work, sending out invites, as many as you can, and texting or calling at least 3 to 5 people in your phone's contacts that you haven't talked to yet. So let's talk about language for new conversations. It's very simple. It's very easy. You have drank ketones and you've had an experience, right? So you get to share that with people. You just reach out to them and say, hey, whatever their name is, I was wondering if you could help me out with something. People love to help other people. I was wondering if you could help me out with something. I have found something and I feel amazing. It's given me more energy, focus, better sleep, and mood. I've even taken off a few pounds. Now, if that's your story, make sure you share that. People are excited about the benefits. We have an informational Zoom happening at noon today where you can be a fly on the wall and listen in to learn about it. If I sent you over the link, would you be able to hop on? So a few key things there. You're sharing your own personal story in just a few words, right? Not sharing too much, but just the benefits that you've experienced. Also sharing that it's an informational Zoom for them to learn more, but they get to just be a fly on the wall. They can just listen in. They don't have to speak. They don't have to talk to anyone. They get to be a fly on the wall and listen in. It's super disarming and people love to learn. So if you share that they're going to just gain information about what it is that you're doing that's changing your life, you're bound to have people to say, sure, I'll hop on with you because you shared what your experience was with them. So the next people we're going to talk about is that people that you've already had conversations with, right? Those are the people that we just talked about that you've never even talked to about ketones yet. Now, maybe there's some people that you've talked to. Maybe you have, Amber mentioned the Rhino Run Tracker. Maybe you have people on the Rhino Run Tracker that you had a conversation with, but they never bought. They never even got a trial, right? Maybe you have conversations going in Messenger that you've sent out the campfire video, but they haven't ordered. They haven't tried ketones yet. Right? So we want to follow up with those people. So find your Rhino Run Tracker. You can go into Messenger and you can actually type in a keyword like campfire, and it will bring up all of the messages that you've ever said the word campfire in. So if you're a camper like Amber, you might have a lot of messages come up. No, the campfire video, you can type that in and it will pull up all the messages so you can follow up with those people. Now, if you remember earlier, I mentioned that a lot of people take more than one exposure to some kind of education or story before they say yes to trying this product, right? So we get to offer them another opportunity to hear stories and learn about the product. So super simple language. Again, right? You're going to say, hey, name, I know you've been interested in ketones. We have an informational Zoom today at noon where you can be a fly on the wall and listen in to learn more. If I sent you over the link, would you be able to hop on? Now, these are outgoing messages that you're sending to people. Again, set a timer, set a number for yourself, and don't stop inviting until you hit that number, right? That's a cool way to do it too. Challenge yourself. Say, I'm not going to stop until I've sent 20 invites, right? That's an awesome way to do it. That doesn't mean that 20 people are going to show up, right? But you can set yourself little challenges along the way. So we have a few other ideas for you. So we went over talking to current customers, reaching out to new people, as well as talking to people that you've already had a conversation with. But there's a few other extra things that you could do that would really help you maximize these guest calls. And Amber's going to start by sharing a couple of her favorites.
Yes. So a few things that I like to do, a few on social media, and then I have some hidden treasures of where you can find some contacts. And I just recently found out about these. First of all, let's talk about going live on social media. This is something I used to do almost every week, and I need to get back to it because it worked so well, and I've gotten out of the habit. So what I would do about 30 minutes before every guest call, I would go live and I would title my live "Countdown to Guest Call." I would put my live link somewhere in my link tree, or I guess if I was going live on Facebook, I would probably post the live with the information on a Facebook post, just somewhere I could reference when I am live. I could say, if you're going to join me, you can find the link here in the Facebook post or in my link tree, somewhere where I could keep referencing where the link was. So I didn't have to send it out to everybody that's interested. I could direct them somewhere. So before you go live, make sure to post the link somewhere. And then what I do is I mix up my ketones. I'm talking about ketones and I'm counting down. Okay, we've got 25 minutes now until our guest call. I'm so excited. We're going to be talking about the science behind ketones. We have this really cool person coming on and sharing their experience. I can't believe they've lost 50 pounds drinking this stuff. They've only been drinking it for a year and they're having so much more energy. And like, I try to find out a little bit about the guest call ahead of time if I can. If I can't, it's no big deal. But if we've got like a corporate guest call, we already know, I think it was pulsed out a little bit of the information for tomorrow's call, which could be helpful in doing a countdown. And then I'll say 5 more minutes. Who's going to be joining me? And in the chat, put your hand up if you're going to be joining me on the guest call. And I'm just driving traffic to the guest call. Even if I get 1, 2, or 3 people over there joining me on the guest call in 30 minutes of time of talking and building energy, you got to have a lot of energy when you're doing this. It can be powerful just to get a few new prospects in there listening to this call who you had no conversation with 30 minutes before. It's brand new prospects. So that's something I like to do. And I really need to get back to because it was powerful. The second thing you could do is use your stories on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook early on in the day with the link. So people have all day long to see that there is a guest call that night. Maybe create a little bit of curiosity in your stories, maybe do a shake up, maybe do you talking, oh my gosh, there's this really cool call tonight. I would love it if you could join me. Maybe put a poll, who's joining me? Yes, yes. And then the other one say, I would like more information. So you're generating some engagement throughout the day, and then you're going to send out the link or put the link right in your poll. Now, Instagram doesn't like links in stories because it's driving traffic away from their site, so it generally will reduce views. So if you could just send out the link to people, create a poll, and if they're interested, then send them the link. That's always best. But the last piece of gold I want to show you is in your Pulse app. If you have Pulse Pro, If you do not have Pulse Pro, you can't do this. So this is just for the Pulse Pro users. You're going to open up your app. And you're going to, on the bottom, it says actions, and then right next to actions is community. All right, you're going to open up community. I have right here on community a tab that says not contacted. These are people that have come to my site at some point in the last 2 years, and I have not contacted them back. I'm going to open it, and I'm going to have a list of all these contacts. All right, I'm going to open one. Going to open one up. Whoops. And it's going to have a phone number, an email address. It's actually, if I click over to activity, it's going to tell me what date they came into my site. This one came in April of 2021, and they requested a 5-day experience. So I could reach out to this person and invite them to the guest call. This is powerful information. These people came in because they were interested at one point, so much so that they gave me their email address and their phone number. All right, this is powerful information. The other thing you can do is then up at the top where it says leads, customers, promoters. Can you guys see it, or is there a glare? See it? Okay. You're going to go over to customers. Right down here, it says hot, cold, loyal. All right. Your hot customers are going to be your highest paying customers per month. These are based on the last 2 months. Your cold customers are going to be anyone who hasn't purchased in over 12 months, in a year. Those would be perfect people to invite to the call. They used to be drinking ketones. Find out where they're at in their journey. They may want to start up again. A lot of times they've fallen off. They're not doing well. Their health is compromised. Reach out to them, see how they're doing. Say, hey, there's a guest call going on. Are you interested in getting back drinking ketones? We've got some good sales going on right now. We've got this powerful call. Lots going on with Prove It right now. The momentum is crazy. Are you interested in listening with me? Something like that would be powerful. And then your loyal customers are those with the longest smart ship. Get your current customers on the calls. I'm telling you, it is powerful. Don't just focus on prospects. Focus on customers too. It is a powerful way to build your business. So Pulse Pro, there's lots of tools in there that you can use to build your business. Get these people on the calls too. So I'll turn it back over to you, Becca, for more ideas.
I love that. The Pulse Pro is my new favorite thing. So definitely, if you don't yet have it, make that investment, grab the Pulse Pro, $99 for a year. It's so worth it. So the last thing that I really want to chat with you about, there's actually, I'll give you two more tips, right? The most important I'm saving for last, so you don't want to leave yet. One is, if you haven't yet gotten into the Better Starts Here boards, go ahead and reach out to the person who you're working with and ask them for the Better Starts Here boards link. There are some scripts for inviting to guest calls already in there. So if you can't remember what we said on here, if you go onto the Better Starts Here boards and look under guest calls and then invite scripts, there's scripts already in there written out for you. Okay. Huge tip. Most important tip. If people can't make it to the guest call you're inviting them to, ask them if you got your hands on a recording, would they watch the replay? You're going to get a replay of this call. So it doesn't matter if they say yes or no that they can be there, right? That doesn't matter. What matters most is you've started the conversation. You've opened that door, that line of communication. And like I said, he who has the most conversations wins. So we have a replay that will be available. So make sure you ask them, if I got my hands on a recording, would you check out the replay? Because then they still get the information, education, hear the stories, and they can still see the community and hear from the community as well. So I hope that you guys got some value out of this call and this training, and send this to your team members, send this out to your friends so that they can invite to the call as well. We are super excited and so thankful that you let us help you here tonight on how to invite to a guest call. Amber, you got any closing words?
No, just thank you for joining us. And thank you, Coach Becca, for coaching us. I always love hosting with you. Lots of valuable information, and hopefully you'll be able to take it and run with it and be able to build your business. Have a good night.
Take care.